feels big, doesn't it? It feels big. Every time I think about AEW Revolution, I get kind of excited because when you look at the cards, like what's going to happen there and what's going to happen there and what's going to happen with this. Plus, we already know we have two big surprises in the form of brand new signees. And no, it's not me. I do appreciate everyone that does tweet me going, Simon, is it you? But I don't want to disappoint you, and apparently according to CM Punk, it's not him either. But as it is very close to the actual event itself, it's now time to take our brains and try and predict All Elite Wrestling's Revolution pay-per-view. One day I'll stop doing that. It makes me laugh because I'm an idiot. And given that it has been confirmed that it is going to be the first match on the pay-per-view, we will also start with the Young Bucks defending their tag team titles against MJF and Chris Jericho. And I have put myself in a very silly and a very stupid position. If you do watch me on Ups and Downs, I have had this dumb conspiracy theory that Sammy Guevara is going to return at some point to AEW and assist MJF with something, take out Chris Jericho. They will then take on the Inner Circle, they'll be the new leaders, Chris Jericho will become a good guy, and then we'll move on to something else. And yes, I also said it would happen here, so I have to double down and say I think it's going to happen here. Mostly because years ago, I used to do this little radio show, and I don't know why, but I love Jack Swagger. And when he was in that Money in the Bank match, I went, oh, Jack Swagger would never win. And then he went and flipping won. So I'm not making the same mistake twice. So I will say, even though I don't believe it at all, and it wouldn't work, because Sammy hasn't been away for long enough, he will turn and he'll somehow do this, and the Young Bucks will still be your tag team champions. Realistically, I actually think the Inner Circle should win the belts, and then you should start having some fun with them. But we've already talked about what a moron I am. I really regret it. Although saying that, they did beat up Papa Buck, and you kind of want to see the good guys get a little bit of revenge. So yes, I'll double down on this. The Young Bucks will retain, and something bad is going to happen with the Inner Circle. I hate me too. We then move on to what could be my most anticipated match of the night, aside from the craziness that we're going to get in our main event, because we have Team Taz, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks taking on Sting and Darby Allin in what I think is going to be a cinematic street fight. I mean, it's definitely a street fight, but I think Sting is also going to be far more active than any of us could imagine. And my word, I'm excited. I just love Sting. That's also why I think he should be on the winning team. And I know straight away people go, but that means Sting's beat Brian Cage and Sting's beat Ricky Starks. Don't worry about Sting right now. Worry about Darby Allin. He's the pet project. He's the TNT champion. He's the guy we're giving a mega push to. And if he can be on a winning pair here alongside a damn legend, I just think that helps him massively. And on the flip side to this, you do have a get out of jail free card, because of course, if Brian Cage and Ricky Starks are going to be there, so is Hook, so is Taz, and so is a bunch of other goons. So if you do want to do some kind of distraction, you probably could. But also, Sting does have an aura to him. I don't want to see him in his first match and then he just get lost. I want father and son to be victorious, and I want to wipe a tear away from my eye. How violent this is actually going to be as well, I don't know. I mean, it is a street fight. If we do film it all cinematically, they can get away with more. But you also don't want to do too much, otherwise when you get to the barbed wire exploding deathmatch thingamajig, well, I doubt anything could really take away from that. But you do need to be smart, so that does add a little bit of intrigue. I'm also going to bet my ass that somebody's going to end up in a body bag. That's been the other theme of this, Hook being in a body bag, Darby Allin's being on a body bag. Darby Allin will also probably dive off a building with a knife, because he's a crazy man. But yes, I'm going to put it all on the line and say that Sting and his son Darby Allin should be victorious. Also, Team Taz have been brilliant in all of this, and are proof why you never rag on something too soon. Let it play out. We're also getting Mizunami versus Shida for the Women's Championship, and I know there's been a lot of criticism towards AEW and their women's division, but all I know is that right now, I cannot wait to see this, so we must have done something right. And what the hell do you do here as well? Because Mizunami, after her appearance in the tournament and on Dynamite this week, well, she's kind of like a rainbow of brightness, because she's so crazy. She's dancing around the ring and she was slapping everybody when she won the trophy. But Shida is also a damn good champion. She hasn't lost in ages. This is another hard one to call. But really, if we have got Mizunami all the way over from Japan, and she doesn't have to go back anytime soon because of the pandemic and because of the borders, I think she should win. It also sets up potential new feuds for the title. Shida can then go and have other programs with other people that it's not for the championship. And I just think that ticks a load of boxes. And of course, we need to see what's going to happen with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. Maybe they can slot in here as well. But yeah, I'm going with the crazy Mizunami, mostly because she is crazy and she's so bright and she's colourful. She makes me laugh. It's also stipulations aplenty at Revolution because we are getting the Q1 financial give me your money, big money match between Matt Hardy and Hangman Page. And I really just want to give a little applause to this storyline. It came out of nowhere. It's kind of silly, all things considered, but I have absolutely loved it every step of the way, especially when Hardy's goons took sight at the Dark Order. And also, it's just a good win for Hangman Adam Page. I mean, you'd have to be crazy to think that Page isn't going to lose here. He is undefeated in 2021, and he should carry on this undefeated streak all the way to the end of the year, or the last pay-per-view of 2021, where he faces Kenny Omega for the title. And then he should lose. We'll talk about that nearer the time, because it's one of my crazy fantasy booking things. But that's why he beats Matt Hardy here. Matt Hardy is a huge name. Matt Hardy is a legend. Matt Hardy has been making his life a living hell, so just do away from him and move on to the next one. You can also have some fun with the Dark Order and TH2 and whoever else you want to stick in there, but this should just be a really entertaining match in the middle of the card, mostly because it's always nice to see Hangman Adam Page. They just get better week in, week out. And then there's more surprises. I mean, how many surprises are there going to be? Because we have the ladder match to determine who is going to be the #1 contender for Darby Allin's TNT title. And we got Cody taking on Scorpio Sky, taking on Penta, taking on Lance Archer, taking on Max Caster, and taking on TBA. Who the hell is that going to be? The only person I can come up with is Ethan Page, which would be excellent, but I would like to have another name to try and speculate, but I ain't got anyone. So it's going to be Ethan Page. Given that it is a ladder match, whoever is the surprise doesn't have to lose here, because you don't really lose just because you didn't climb a ladder fast enough. And we have to give this to Scorpio Sky. I ain't hearing any other theories. He showed this brand new character on Dynamite where he's a little bit mad, he's a little bit egotistical, he's a little bit arrogant. You could almost say he's turned heel. And if that is the case, you've got a ready-made feud when he does take on Darby Allin, who is our hero, and we all love him. We want to give Darby Allin a kiss. And I really just want to see Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky. And also, I'm just going to say it, I want to see Scorpio Sky as the TNT champion. It feels like it's been on the cards for a while. I think he'd be great at it, so that's what I want. But I also hope that everybody else gets to shine, especially Max Caster. That dude has taken the whole rap gimmick. He's completely eliminated any comparisons like, oh, he's just John Cena. You may even want to say he's better than what Big Match John used to do. And ultimately, this is going to be absolutely nuts. A ladder match in AEW, you already know, but I'm picking the Scorp. Following that is another fun little match, and also hopefully the payoff to a long-ass running feud, which is Miro and Kip Sabian taking on Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Now, all of these dudes are awesome workers, and I bet they have a great tag match, but it has to end nice and simply. Miro loses his temper, he beats up Orange Cassidy, he beats up Chuck Taylor, he beats up Kip Sabian. He thinks about beating up Penelope Ford, but he doesn't do it because we don't need that. And we finally pull the trigger on Miro becoming this crazy beast who also enjoys playing Call of Duty in his spare time. Now, we will get a winner and a loser because that's what AEW does, but I don't even care about that. I just want Miro to be an absolute raging bull. That's all I need, and he can come out in his weird clothes and his brand new haircut, but just give me what I want, like Batista. Remember when he's talking to Triple H and spitting everywhere? Give me what I want. It's one of those situations, so I'll say that Miro will win, but he just wins. He wins life. It's then the tag team battle royal to determine who's going to get a future tag team title shot, and I need my phone because who in the hell could remember all of these teams? So we have Bear Country versus Dark Order 1 versus Dark Order 2 versus Dark Order 3. They basically put everybody in this match, because why the hell not? Versus Santana and Ortiz versus the Butcher and the Blade versus Pac and Phoenix versus Top Flight versus Varsity Blondes versus the Seidel Brothers versus SCU versus the Natural Nightmares versus Chaos Project versus the Gun Club. I mean, I'm not 100% sure that's right because there are so many people in it, but I did look on all the websites and that's what they said, so I'm just going to assume is correct. And how the hell are you supposed to predict that? I mean, the fact that Bear Country are even in it is weird because they just popped up on Dynamite recently, oh man, I'm going to put some people through tables. Oh, I love being a bear. But maybe they could. I mean, that's not a bad way to bring them to the dance. All of a sudden, you have these brand new #1 contenders, and it is going to depend on what happens between the Young Bucks and the Inner Circle. This one has me flummoxed. I mean, maybe you even go back to SCU, because recently they were saying they wanted a shot at the Young Bucks, and if they weren't able to win the tag team championships, they would give it up forever. I mean, I really don't know. So I am just going to pull one out of left field, and I'm going to say Bear Country. I know, it makes absolutely no sense, but I make no sense as a human being, Also, this is just me over-wielding my power. Bear country, don't let me down. And also, if you could come out dressed like a bear, I'm pretty sure we'd all appreciate it. Which brings us to our main event, and I can't believe I'm saying these words, but it is the AEW World Champion, Kenny Omega, defending his title against Jon Moxley in a barbed wire, exploding deathmatch blood-a-thon. I mean, what are they gonna do? They have made it very clear that this isn't going to be a peaches and cream version. We're not going to get Care Bears running around going, please don't hurt yourself, Kenny Omega. It's not going to be fake blood. I assume they're going to do it like we used to do in Japan, hence why Anita was on Dynamite in that video going, I don't think that's a very good idea, guys. Bad things can happen. I mean, I don't think somebody's going to die. That's a little bit too much. But that is kind of what AEW has insinuated could happen. So like the kayfabe part of my brain, well, I've entirely bought in. So really, in terms of predictions, it's about what's going to happen here. Like who's going to be exploded, how much blood is there actually going to be? Because I think it's obvious that Kenny Omega has to win. He's about to go on his belt collecting tour. I think we are going to get Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann very soon. So the big question is, what the hell happens to Jon Moxley? And given that in every single one of his promos, he has said, maybe I need to go away for a while, maybe I'm going to go away for a while, I totally believe he is going to be blown up, which is a stupid sentence. I mean, not literally, but figuratively or whatever. But he is going to be blown up and he will take some time away from AEW television. It'll be a pretty good idea because when he does come back, he's going to have all the importance in the world because absence does make the heart grow fonder. And also, he could be on TV every single week and I would appreciate seeing him. But yeah, it just comes down to how nuts is this going to be? And if we just invent a nuts meter right now, 0 being not nuts and 10 being pretty damn nuts, I'm gonna say it's 9.5 and I'm only leaving 0.5 because they always say leave a little bit just in case down the line someone does something more nuts. But Kenny Omega still will be your champion and he probably should be your champion all the way through to 2022. I feel like this reign needs to be a massive one. But put your hand up if you're just a teeny weeny little bit scared. My hand will go up, but I am pleased they're doing this. I like it when people take risks and I like it when people do things out the box. Just please be safe. I know I'm not your mother, and I know you don't have to care about this, but please, please, for the love of everything, be safe. Now make sure you leave a comment below and let us know who you think's gonna win every single match at AEW Revolution, especially that main event. How bad or violent is it gonna get? Then like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com where you can read yourself some articles. Make sure you follow What Culture on social media. And look, we are gonna have some live reactions here on the channel for AEW Revolution. If you want some company, make sure you tune in. My name is Simon for What Culture. No matter how you are watching AEW Revolution, make sure you enjoy it. I think come Monday, we are gonna have a lot of things we need to talk about. Once again, please, please, please be safe.